Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Hey, we are back. Can you believe this, Todd? Show number 60.
You know what?
Today.
And I give the credit to our producer for keeping us on track. Otherwise, we would not have made it that far.
Our producer, Lisa Gray,
Lisa
over
Gray
in the
house.
producer's corner. Thank you for making sure that we stay on the air here.
I couldn't have done it alone. There would be no one in these chairs. I'd be producing nothing.
You can just read all this stuff. It's be fine.
Right.
And of course, over there is Todd Robertson.
Hey!
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in and watching today. You are in for a treat.
That you are. And don't forget to visit our website. It's takealistingtoday.com. You can see when our next shows are and sign up for those notifications. And we actually are going to start off with a very special guest. We have Tanzania on the line with us. Are you there?
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Well, we are doing wonderful. Where are you located at, Tanzania?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, very
All
nice.
right. Atlanta. And thank you for coming on to our show today. We actually wanted to do a little shout out for you because you use a lot of marketing from our sponsor, ProspectsPLUS.com. And just wanted to ask you quickly, what's working for you the best?
I would say what's working for me the best is the just listed and just sold postcards. Whenever I get a new listing, I will send out a just listed postcard, and then once it sells, I will send out a just sold postcard. And I try to, continue to send out postcards to that same neighborhood, with market updates or anything going on that they should know about. And that's actually gotten me more listings within that community, and a lot of times those sellers have a home to buy, so sometimes, I get double transactions, and it all stemmed from that one property that I had listed.
That's awesome. How many do you send out at a time?
Well, whatever is in the community. It depends on the number of...
All right, you do the whole area.
Number in the community, yeah. Yeah, if I have a listing in a community, I try to send out to the whole community.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, in other words, you have systems in place, so that's not a maybe. Every time you take a listing, that goes out. Every time that listing goes under contract, that goes out, correct?
Well, I wait until it sells. I like to wait until it sells. I'm one of those people that don't like to count their chickens before they hatch.
That's good. So that way you don't jinx it, right? You don't want to jinx it.
Right. I'm not the under contract girl. You'll never see me posting anything saying under contract because something could easily fall out of, it could easily fall out. So I'm like, no, I'll wait until it closes and I know it's solid because I think that's more solid anyway. It's saying that, hey, and not only did I get it under contract, but I sold it as opposed to it's under contract and it's going to sell.
Right.
Very smart. We're very happy that those postcards are doing well for you. And since you did take the time to call in today, we would love to offer you some more marketing, actually a $25 gift card for some free marketing. And I think we have the book, The Third Eye Returns. Is that the new
The Third Eye Returns. Tanzania, you probably already read the book. It's called Dog Eat Dog by Jerry Rossi. Does that ring a bell or no?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, well, if you win it, it's going to ring a lot of bells because there's a lot of interesting stuff in there that's going to,
something's going to ring. And also we have Todd's latest book, Become a Listing Legend. It sounds like you're already on your way, but this might inspire you with a couple of new ideas, too.
Absolutely. I truly appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you don't have it yet. We have to ask you the trivia question here.
Okay.
Put your thinking cap on. You got this, Tanzania. I believe in you.
Put your iPhone on. No, I mean, no.
No cheating on this, please. Right. So with this question here, you have three choices. I'll give you the three choices, and then you give us your answer. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. How long is the 90-mile beach in New Zealand? Ooh. A, 90 miles, B, 55 miles, or C, 40 miles?
Ooh. A lot riding on this. Final answer, or do you want to call a friend?
You're going with A?
No, I think I'm good.
All right.
And Jim?
A is 90 miles. Is that the correct answer?
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, you would have loved the books. You would have loved the gift card. We hope things work out.
What was the right answer anyway? 55 miles.
That's a trick question. We should give her another chance, right?
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
They call it the 90-mile beach, and it's only 55 miles.
That's why it's a trivia question. It's so obvious it's not.
I think that's
Wow.
made up.
Weren't we going to get new writers here, Lisa?
Yes, we need new
Tanzania, let's give you another
We're
chance.
going to give you another one here.
You got this, okay?
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie co-created which operating system? A. GEOS, B. Unix, or C. Windows?
Now, I would definitely not look that up on Google. Don't do that.
Why do you sound so strange over there, Lisa?
iPhone.
Well, we know that Bill Gates did Windows, so the answer can't be Windows.
Right, so we take Windows out.
Right.
Which gives her a 50-50 shot.
What were the options?
A. GEOS, B. Unix, or C. Windows?
And what were those guys' names again?
It was Ken Thompson.
I'm going to go with B.
B.
Unix.
All right. B. Unix. Is that the correct answer? Yes, it is!
Tanzania.
Hey, congratulations!
You not only won the $25 gift card, you also won the book Become a Listing Legend and Jerry Rossi's book Dog Eat Dog.
And as we say, read this if you can't stay awake, because this will keep you up or something, right?
Yeah, especially, or just jump right to the third eye section.
Right. That's a great chapter right there. Tanzania, thank you very much for calling in here and being a customer of Prospects Plus, and we wish you the best in the future.
Keep up the great work. Stay powerful. Thank you for tuning in.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. I'm gonna email you your gift card, the $25 gift card code, and reference the address that I have in your file, and let me know if that's the one to send the books to, and I'll get the books out.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. All right. Winner every time.
Isn't that
almost,
fun?
right? It is fun.
That is fun.
It is fun. Now, we're going to have more winners who are watching our show right now because you're going to learn how important it is to educate your prospects before they become your clients. Now, maybe if you do that, they won't want to be your client, or you might not want them as a client.
But we have to make sure it's a good fit, right?
Yeah, it's a good idea to do that. So let's talk about educating your prospects first. So what if all of your clients knew exactly what to expect during their real estate transaction? Imagine how comfortable they would be, how less likely they would be to freak out over the smallest bump in the road. If you take the time to educate your prospects before they become a client, it takes this premise and makes it a reality. So let's take a look at some of the ways agents across the country are educating prospects in their efforts to create savvy clients.
And if you think about educating people before the process, the best analogy probably that we can all digest is a doctor, right? You go to the doctor's office. What do? They put you on a safe island. They share with you, here's the process. Here's what we're going to do. So it puts that person, that client, that customer at ease. And Floyd had a great way to put this. He called it a safe island. So when a new client came in, he's going to explain the buyer process, the seller process. So in other words, put them on a safe island, make them feel comfortable before they go on the journey.
Exactly. It's a great way to start this whole journey. So, yes, Lisa.
I was just thinking of one other example, maybe one that we don't appreciate very much because the amount of them, but the pharmaceutical TV commercials are actually educating prospects before they become clients. So they
How
show
fascinating is that?
Yeah. So education is actually a form of selling. It's a very soft form of selling, but it works very well. So they show this emotional, lovely commercial, and then they educate on the pros, cons, whatever about the pharmaceutical, and there you go. And these are prospects seeing this that will become clients. So look at how effective that is for them.
Very smart.
And that example is just so interesting because, right, think about patients aren't supposed to go in and tell their doctors what they want, but it's almost, they're doing that so when they have a conversation, they can bring up this medicine that the doctor is going to make residual on. So it's a very interesting psychology game happening there.
And it must work or they wouldn't be doing it.
Correct.
And they sure are doing it.
I think they make a couple bucks here and there on that. Yes.
Yep.
So here's a great idea. Educate the masses with virtual webinars. Homebuyer seminars are hardly innovative. Agents and lenders have been organizing them for decades. The only necessary change with the current distancing guidelines is to turn your seminar into a virtual webinar.
And what I'll say about the virtual webinar, and I think, and I have a chance because I'm talking to our market dominator agents, or I'm talking to agents who want to sign up for the 2-year listing campaign. It's so fascinating. Agents at that level are either on webinars each day or are conducting them, right? Because there's so much great information out there. So they're either conducting buyer or seller webinars or attending trainings all the time.
Yeah, so we have an agent here, Deb Tomorrow. Is that a real name?
Tomorrow or Tomato? We might have left out the T.
Is her brother's name Tom? Mr. Tom Morrow.
Tom Morrow.
Tom.
Yeah. We write our own jokes, folks. We don't have writers for our material, so.
And it shows, doesn't it? Okay. Anyway, she stated when she spoke about her buyer educational events, sure, the events help pull in prospects, but once converted, these people turn into the best kind of clients. They know what to expect. They know the process, so I'm not having to micromanage them. Tom Morrow explained.
Tom Tomorrow.
They are able to keep things in perspective. They understand the big picture and they know what they're doing. So the most important step in considering holding a virtual seminar is to determine your niche audience. Now, it should be easy if you already focus on a specific real estate niche. If you're more of a generalist, consider some of these audiences. How about first-time home buyers or renters, vacation property buyers or investors, government loan programs featuring low or no down payments, baby boomers or senior buyers, empty nesters, move-up market, absentee owners, and specific lifestyle interests such as golfers, boaters, tennis players, equestrians, etc.
And as we're sitting here going through this, I like what you just said, because some realtors out there are not going to be comfortable conducting a webinar. Maybe that's not their style, their personality. But what's great about that is somebody in your office, a colleague, a friend, your real estate partner, somebody's going to be great at that. And so you don't have to do it all by yourself. You could just simply play a role. There'll be somebody in your office, great at technology, very comfortable in that mode. So don't just look at this and say, oh my gosh, that's not me.
There's a lot of people to help you out.
Correct.
To make that a reality. The toughest part of the virtual webinar process might be in the planning, but the Real Estate Buyers Agent Council of the National Association of Realtors has a handy online pamphlet that walks agents through each step. And Lisa, we'll put a link for that in the notes for this
We'll be there.
exciting episode. Good. All right. Well, another way to educate your prospects is with radio. Less than 1% of real estate agents use radio or television, according to Matt Wagner, founder of Radio and Television Experts.
And I can tell you one thing, just driving around here where we are, Bradenton, Sarasota, in the past 2 years, I've only heard one real estate couple on the radio, and they're up in Tampa. They work for RE/MAX. I can tell you exactly who they are because nobody else taps that medium. So it's interesting. I admire them. I've never met them. I admire them because I'm thinking, ooh, when everybody else zigs, you zag.
And are they doing a show like a question answer where you have a question about real estate, about the selling or buying process?
No,
is that what they're there to answer? Or
no, it's not a
what are they
show.
doing?
It's just a commercial.
Okay.
It's just a commercial.
Right.
Boom. They call themselves a dynamic duo. Boom, boom, boom. Kind of using the ERA seller security plan. If we
Okay.
don't sell your house, we'll buy it.
Right.
So they have some great hooks in there. And guess what? They don't have competition on the radio. You don't hear 14 people that day when you're driving. You hear one.
Right.
Right. What time of day do you recall, or what kind of music? I'm just curious. What
I don't remember really. I just know as we were going through this, I'm like, wow, there's only
That's
one,
interesting.
either a team, a couple up in Tampa.
Was it the rap station up there? Is that what you were listening to? Or was that...
You were in my car recently, you saw my radio station.
Yes, but you turned on your car and all of a sudden my ears were bleeding. So
Right.
yes, it was-
Yes. Okay. I'll tone it down next time.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So between radio and TV, radio is by far the preferred medium if you plan on buying, advertising, or hosting your own real estate show. The main advantage of radio over television is the cost. Radio is going to be much less expensive. For the purposes of educating prospects, you'll need more than a 30-second spot. The back and forth of a call-in talk show is ideal for educating prospects.
Now, we should let our people know, even though we're not going to show them anything, but Jim's being humble. He did have his own TV show when he was a realtor, And it was pretty neat. We got a sneak preview before the show. So
very, very true. Unfortunately, all those tapes I think are destroyed. Or did we find one of those?
Yeah, we may be able to find one of those. I have a feeling we're going to be able to find one of those.
Really?
It might surface somewhere.
We've
right?
got about 50 people on it, right?
Okay, we got 50 people
It will
on that.
surface.
So
if we're going to see it, let's see it right now. Can we roll that tape?
boom.
Well, hi once again, and welcome back to Real Estate Live. It's a Monday, August 9th, 1993.
And we're coming to you live from the Blab TV studios here in Sarasota, Florida.
Yes, and
It's another rainy day, by the way.
yes, it is, Anne-Marie. In fact, we just throw out the weatherman. You don't need to watch for the weather anymore. Just mark your calendars. The Monday nights that we are on, it's going to rain, and that's all there is to it.
Every single time.
Let's see, we've been doing this show since March, and every Monday night, except for one. There was one time
One time it
when it
didn't.
didn't rain.
And we
But
mean
today, of course, it
storming rain.
Yeah, I mean, thunderbolts, lightning, mass hysteria, stuff like that.
Man, that was good.
You know what? And I admire that. Most people would not want to go back that far, but you looked great. You sounded great. And you know what?
That far?
That
So
far.
I was thinking that was a year ago because you look at the same.
I
A
haven't
year
changed,
ago.
have I?
Like, what were you doing this job and that at the same time?
She's
That's
buttering
why-
up. She's buttering up.
That was the night gig there doing that show. So
okay.
Oh, you're moonlighting.
Right.
Well, it's still real estate, so it wasn't really moonlighting.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. It's the same thing.
Right.
But,
Okay.
yeah, that brings back some memories there. Okay, so how much will this thing cost? It depends on the size of the market, of course, the station's ratings, and the time day that you choose. Stations in New York City and Los Angeles would charge far more for advertising than those in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and Casper, Wyoming. So, depending on your area, might cost a lot, might
And-
cost less.
Exactly. And if a realtor, a small business person, is looking at costs, right? One thing to look at is there's a cost to doing it and there's a cost to not doing it.
Sure.
Just like with anything, just like with Market Dominator, 2-year listing campaign, just like Tanzania talked about, hey, every listing I send just listed. When it sells, when it goes to closing, I send just sold every time. So she has a cost if she did not do that. So you guys listening right now, there's a cost to marketing and a cost to not marketing if you're considering.
You know, if I could put on a little real estate show, anybody could do that, right?
Come on.
Come on.
Right. Well, and it's about long-term benefits.
Yeah.
Yes.
This isn't. You're not a day trader in the stock market,
Right.
Right. You're a long-term holder of stocks. You're a long-term player of marketing, knowing that over time there's going to be a compounded effect.
Yep.
That's what you have to think about. That's what you have to focus on.
Very true. Very true. So thankfully, real estate talk shows typically occur on the weekends when airtime is less expensive. So if you live in a small enough market and the station is in need of some content, you may even up with free airtime. That would be the exception, not the rule. Mine may have been free back in the day.
Right,
But
right.
They needed somebody, so they could have just had the color bars or talking about real estate.
Snow on the screen.
Yep.
Otherwise, many agents pound the pavement or the telephone to drum up sponsors for the shows in exchange for mentions on the air. That's an excellent
Did
idea.
that show run around 3 a.m. or
Yeah, 3:30, whenever.
Sunday?
Yeah, whenever the guy the janitor, I think it was, came
Right.
in and played the tape at when he was working. So
And the people that watched it
Minimal
were
costs.
the ones getting up to go to the restroom at that time, putting the TV back on to fall back asleep. No.
oh, that's that
That doesn't sound, that's not
no,
fair.
that's not.
Right.
That's not. Moving on.
Okay.
Good prospects to focus on for sponsors are title companies, home inspectors, and lenders. Of course, there's ad agencies, radio airtime brokers, and others who will actually do all the groundwork for you for a fee. If you really want to get into it, you can get one of those guys involved. All right. Moving on from radio and television, you can also
Ooh.
educate your potential new prospect clients with print. Although it hasn't happened yet, newspapers are expected to someday go the way of the Pony Express. Only the largest, according to some forecasters, will survive. Like real estate, however, print journalism is quite local. While many real estate consumers rely on the internet for real estate listings and information, in some towns it's the local newspaper that is still the go-to source. Robin Shapiro, broker-owner of Robin Shapiro Realty in the Rockaways, finds great success with her hometown paper, The Wave. She says before it was put online, people would actually cross over the bridge to buy it. What does that mean? They didn't have a newspaper stand on the other side of the bridge. You
exactly.
Had to go over
they
the
had to
bridge.
buy it before you went to the next town.
Wild West. Wild
Yeah,
West
get your
over there.
newspaper over here, then cross the town. There's a new paper.
You know what? They probably had another paper over there that wasn't as successful as that.
Correct.
One. So they had to cross over to get the good paper.
Darn, that was a small town. Then you only had one place to buy a newspaper. All right.
And as we're talking about print, I love this conversation because there's a stat out there which is so shocking, right? So in a lot of areas throughout the country right now, the market's on fire, right? It's on fire for a lot of reasons. But in terms of print, in terms of Tanzania, who we just talked to that did the just listed, just sold, or someone that does the market dominator, NAR tells us that 94% of people still go to their mailbox every single day.
Sure.
So for a realtor watching or listening right now, that all of your agent or a lot of your agents in your office are in technology overload, when they zig, you can zag.
Always.
Just like going to radio,
Always.
just like going to the mailbox.
Especially with newspaper. To me, that's very similar to radio and television.
Right.
You know, not everybody is flocking to newspaper as a source for advertising or writing a column or something like that. So you're really going to stand out. I completely agree. Yep.
Yeah. So if you live in a little one-horse town, that's if that sounds like your newspaper, it might be the place, a great place to offer your services as their real estate advice columnist. Call the editor and make a pitch. Certainly
very
doesn't
nice.
hurt. What's the worst that happens, right?
Exactly.
Even if you don't fancy yourself as a writer, you can hire an inexpensive freelance editor to go over your copy before sending it on to the paper.
And I bet if a person made a list of 10 media outlets and called them all and introduced themselves and had a nice presentation, good rapport, one of them is going to say yes. One of them is going to say, and it might not be long term, it'll be short term, but it's such a hot topic in the country right now with everything going on. One of them is going to say yes, and that person will have a medium outlet that will let them get some exposure.
Yeah. All right. Our final topic here, blogging. Blogging is a highly accepted way to educate prospects. Blogging helps you educate them on a range of real estate issues. It's a great way to let them know about current market trends so they know what to expect when they decide to enter the market. Now, here's some great examples of blog topics. How about financing? This is a very confusing topic for real estate consumers. Make it easy for them to understand. How about common real estate terms and what they mean? Just go through your own listing presentation and you'll find a plethora of jargon that befuddles most real estate customers. Did you mean to put those words in there? Speaking of jargon.
Customers and the realtors.
No,
Right.
Say it 5 times
And producers
fast.
put this stuff into copy. Right.
Say
Exactly.
that same sentence 5 times fast.
Oh, we've had enough bad.
That's for
You win
a
the
gift
dog-eat
card.
dog
That might be a contest.
Yeah,
there.
that's a contest thing.
So consumers might want to know, what's a contingency? What does arm's length mean? And closing on a home. Aside from the financing, the closing process is probably the most mysterious that they'll encounter. Demystify it by explaining what happens, who will be there, and the paperwork that they'll be confronted with.
And in this day and age, right, with YouTube, with all the resources, with internet, free information is so readily available out there. And to take it one step further, the great agents will simplify this and serve it up to their clients very simply, very nicely.
Builds trust with your clients when they see that coming from you as
Right.
well. So while there are many ways to educate your clients, why not choose a method that reaches a massive amount of people and combines lead generation with education? Even if you have to pay for the method, you can bask in the fact that you're getting 2 results in one go. How about that?
Love it.
I love that too. So that is everything that you need to know on how to educate your clients before they become clients.
And that will help them take a listing today.
Exactly. And that reminds me that today's podcast was brought to you by ProspectsPLUS, offering real estate postcards that work. Design, print, and mail them in just minutes. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified every time we go live with a new exciting show. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.